everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome in.
Do you have a Microsoft account on this thing for what?
No. I don't think I have a Microsoft account on anything. Like, I had one, but
Yeah.
not like I ever use it. Thank you, Miss MJ. I appreciate it. Alright, just getting myself shared out here. So we are in Crafters Gone Wild event. I'm helping to fill a spot. And today we're using a printable that Miss MJ made. And it's been really fun to see what everybody's been making with it. So if you're not following along, I hope you will. You can see the replays of those who've been up before me. Up after me is the Glittzy Ya Ya, so make sure you stay tuned to watch her, and we will see what everybody decides to do and check it out. See if you're inspired and try something yourself. So we are using printables today, and if you know me, you know I love anything that is with paper. So that was right up my alley. Alright. Alright, Alright, so let me see. I want to make sure that I can see my own comments, because sometimes here lately I haven't been seeing all the comments, and I've noticed that some people have don't see when I'm commenting. Okay. And she's our last presenter. Okay. I wasn't sure if Miss Yvonne was coming up after her or not. So that's why I wasn't sure. Hey there, Miss Carla. Hi, sweetie. How are you? How's your day been? So if you guys can get me a shared out, I would appreciate it. And I'm going to turn you guys down. And so here is the printable. Now I shrunk it down because I am going to be making a mixed media journal plate cover. So these can be made totally separate and then added on top of an album when you make it. Okay, I'm doing great. I am doing really good. Hubby is right over my pile of stuff, and he's trying to work and figure out the laser setup. Now that I finally got stuff out of the way. Hello there, Miss Mellow. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and cut this down as well. Miss Carla says, hey, Gary.
Hey, Miss Carla.
He says hi. Hello there, Miss Marcy. How is everyone? So yeah, when I saw that Miss MJ needed a fill-in, I was like, you know what? I'm actually not really doing much today, so I can help out. Thank you for the sprinkles. I appreciate it, for all the love and the prayers and the sprinkles and all the good things. Alright, so this is just thin piece of cardboard, very thin chipboard in reality. So this is measuring 8 by 5.5, and the printable, I have it at a 6 by 4. So it's going to fit in here nicely, and I'm going to have a nice enough border around it. Okay, so first things first, we're actually going to go ahead and get this painted. And let's try to go with a dark color. So we're going to do a black on here. Miss Marcy also says hi, Gary.
Hey, everybody.
He's like, hello, everyone. He's doing what he loves, which is figuring things out. Okay, so I could have actually just kept the paint to the sides here, and or you can paint the whole thing. It's completely up to you. Now, the reason for the darker color, you will see, because we are going to be layering, and it's a lot easier if you put darker colors. This could have been green, or you know, a dark blue if you wanted, but I have black on my table, so we're using black. Alright, and I have some excess paint here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and brush the whole thing. And I only printed on printer paper. You could totally print when you're doing something like this. You could totally print also on cardstock. That would again, you know, you do you, okay? Exactly, it's your craft. Hey, Miss Mary. Hello there, Miss Lita. Now, this is buckling, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it, because when I go to put everything down, it's going to be flat. Oops, that's wet. Yes, we are all using the same print. It's a print that Miss MJ made for us. And as you know, we can all have the same prints, and everybody does something completely different. Okay, let me get this off of here. When I finally get my desk cleared off, I'm gonna end up putting a glass mat down. I think that's gonna work out a lot better for me. Hi, Miss Jenny. How are you? Hello, hello. Y'all, Miss Jeanette was one of our friends that that I made on our crafting cruise in February. And she's going to be one of the virtual participants for my retreat in July in Oklahoma. So, y'all say hi. Okay, so again, this was a thin piece that I had. I'm fine with it because, again, this will end up being glued onto the cover of a journal, okay? So it doesn't need to be super thick, because then you are going to end up making a very heavy cover, which, if you like a heavy cover, that is totally fine, okay? I'm not telling you that you can't. I'm just saying I prefer, right? I prefer not to. Alright, let's get some glue on here, if I can find it. what I did with my glue. And so we're just gonna glue this down, and like I said, this is gonna be what is considered a journal cover top. And these are great to make and have, and then when you are ready to build that journal, you just put them on, you know, your book. Trying to center it some. Okay. Alrighty. You're excited? Well, I'm super excited that you're gonna be joining us, dear. Alright, I have two very cute stencils here, which I gotta pull off very carefully because they have that double-sided tape to them. And we are going to be using them with some light modeling paste, okay? You have lots of books that are ready. Let's get physical. You have lots of books that need to be completed. I hear you on that one. I mean, yesterday I took advantage of the ocean themed event and got in there and pretty much am happy and finished up my journal that was from that cruise in February. So I hear you. Okay. I am going to grab a palette knife if I can figure out where I put them. Here we go. So if you do not have light modeling paste, because this stuff can get expensive, okay, you can use light spackle. Okay, you could even use caulk, both of which have been sold at a Dollar Tree. I don't know if they still do, but you can definitely find it at a hardware store. And then a little bit goes a long way, okay? Just make sure it's always the light one, because if you get the regular one, it's going to take forever to dry, and you don't want that, okay? Now, I don't want this on the actual image. I'm just going to go on the edges, okay? So I'm going to just be doing my edges. Okay. If it goes a little bit on the edge of the picture, that is fine. But I'm not trying to like go on top of the image. Okay. Yes, Miss Sarah, no worries. I think that you were not able to see me comment because, or at least nobody was answering when I was saying stuff. So I don't know. I think FB is up to one of its things again. I mean, yesterday it wasn't letting me share people. I don't know. I don't understand. And it, like I said, it doesn't take much. You wipe off the extra. Then we pull it up. Okay. And it's gonna leave you with the image on here. Now I'm just gonna come here and wipe off the edge of my table because I'm a messy crafter. I'm a messy crafter. Okay, and then I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna do this other side. It is actually very cool because it gives you a raised texture. And honestly, before I had this modeling paste, and the only reason why I have this modeling paste is because this was part of the craft room buyout that we had. Because before that, I was using spackle to do everything. The lightweight spackle, I would use it for my stencils. I would use it if I was doing like, you know, faux desserts, or like the hot chocolates, where you do like the, what's that stuff called, the whipped cream with it and stuff. So I've used it and it works great. So the only reason why I have this, especially this particular brand, because I know it's pricey, is because it was in there. So it's one of those things where I ended up keeping it. Now, it could be easier to tape it down, to tape the stencil down if you needed to, but it'll be fine. I'm of the mentality that it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Hey, Miss Grace! Miss Grace was in our event today. She did a beautiful, beautiful image with, she took the printable and did it in a beautiful frame. So y'all have to go check her live out and see what she did. Thank you for spreading the blessings. I appreciate that. And I am wiping this off, but only because I'm going to lay it down and I don't want to get something messy. But even if this stuff dries, it washes off with water and soap, guys. It is water soluble, so it will come off easily. I'm also putting it down where if one of the cats comes and licks it, I would rather they not have that. So yeah, but this is gonna be, so we're gonna dry this, okay? We are gonna give this a dry. Now remember, it is the light, so it's not going to take as long to dry. I know, right? It was beautiful. Miss Grace always does beautiful, beautiful items. She's a very talented lady. We have some very talented crafters. Miss Lori from Nana's Nook started us off. And she also did a really pretty image. She actually used her diamond dots, which was really fun. Hey there, Miss Wendy! So again, I'm just using my dryer to help me along. Just to try to speed it up a little bit, but it really is not going to take that long for this to dry, okay? And it's still flexible to where if I need to bend this a little bit, right, because it decided to warp, it's not going to crackle it, because it's not super, super thick, which is really the fun part of it all. Remember, I did say I had 2 stencils, right? But I'm actually going to grab one of my other stencils. So I keep stencils on these book rings, the really big ones that you can get from the Dollar Tree. And if you can ever find the brass stencils, these are a lot of fun. Hi there, Miss Lori! These are a lot of fun to use because you can use them for stenciling, whether it's paste, whether it's paint, ink, whatever you want. But these can also go through your machine and stencil. It'll end up embossing your papers. So if you have like a Sizzix or any of those die machines, it'll do that. So I want to use this and give myself corners. Yeah, because that corner's not going to work. That corner is not, well, I don't know, maybe it will. To me those look like fall leaves, so those will not work. Not for what I want. It's not going to work. So again, I'm going to just take my stencil, and I'm just going to try to use the piece here to get my corner, okay? And don't worry about taking too much, because you can always scrape off the excess, okay? So you put it down, and you can, like I said, you can always scrape off any excess that you have. That is cool. Where do I get my brass templates from? I have found them all over the place. Everywhere from at thrift stores like my Goodwill to when I bought the Crafted buyout 2 years ago. And I only kept some. The rest I've sold. I think I still have a few, but yeah, just, you know, also sometimes if you look on like your Facebook Marketplace and you find people that are selling lots of stencils, especially if they are older crafters that are getting out of it, they tend to have these brass stencils. So you can find some pretty cool ones. And like I said, I love because they're so versatile. And again, it's just a little bit of water and soap. These will still end up going to my sink, and they don't rust. No, they don't. They do quite well. And let's say you don't want something, well, just scrape it off a little bit. It'll be alright. All of those are gonna go get washed. And see, so now we have the corners done. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you like the idea. Like I said, I hope to always bring something that will inspire y'all to try something, you know? So I'm always inspired by everybody else. Now I have an image in the middle. If I didn't have a printable and I was just doing the stencils, this is a great time to come in and use your sprays. So if you have mica sprays or ink sprays, this is a great time to use them. For me to use them, which I'm going to try, I'm going to have to like cover, because I don't want this to get. I hope so. I hope you try it. Okay, so I'm gonna get like a pink color to go along with this. And guess what? I got these book pages, and you know what? If they get some spray on them, that'll be a-okay. Let's try and be smart, not get all over my desk as well. Alright, so again, I'm trying not to get too much of my printable, but I do want to add, right, some color. And see, then this page is going to look super cool to play with. Alright, so we'll move this over. And now I'm going to come in with the pink on this side. So you can make this as bright, you can use bright colors, you can use, oh, did I not shake you enough? Evidently I didn't shake you enough. Put the lid on before I do something. Now, I love the colors that these sprays give, but they are messy, y'all. As you can tell. Okay, are you clogged? We're going to see if you are clogged. That does happen sometimes. Oh, great. Okay. You don't want to work. I'll go get another pink. Even though I have it all over my fingers. That was a brighter pink, so. Say, now that one's working. Maybe a little too much, but it's working. See, look at how cool that looks. And then if we come over here with the green, and remember that the higher up you go, the lighter of a mist that you're going to get. The closer down you are, the thicker of a mist you're going to get. And then again, this page right here, once this dries, this is going to be super cool to use. So that's just going to sit to the side and dry. This is also going to look really cool. And this is an envelope, and if you know, we use envelopes in journaling. So that's going to be perfect. The only thing left to do is clean up my desk a little bit. Look, if you're not getting messy, are you really having any fun? So, and I know that sometimes getting these sprays can be expensive. These ones particularly are the shimmer sprays from Dilution, which is also from Ranger. But I know Miss Carla, she found a recipe on how to make the sprays with the mica powders. So if you have mica powders, you can make your own sprays. So there's options, you know. There's a lot of stuff that you can make. You know, there's a lot of stuff you can make. You can make your own textured paints by using baking soda. if honestly, if we don't get messy, we're not having fun. So, see, and she says it works. I've done the paint and baking soda to give myself textured paints. I've done that multiple times. Works wonders. So if you are ever considering that, it does work. Alright. I'm going to have some pink fingers for a day or two, but that'll be fine. I scrub them with some of that orange stuff that Gare has at the sink, and it'll come off actually right before dinner time. Alright, I'm going to just try to dry our area here. Let's get this a little bit dry, where possible. Thank you for the hearts. I really appreciate it. I really, really do. Another thing you can do is you can come over this with inks. So if you wanted to add an ink, or if you want to distress it, you can. Obviously you can come over, you know, and you can distress, you know, with inks as well, if that was something you wanted to do. Okay, so you can do that. I'm not trying to distress this, so, but you can do that. Alright. What I am going to do is I'm going to use just a little bit of my matte wax, and this is in a red, and guys, I mean, you know, my hands are dirty, like, I'm gonna do this with my fingers. So I'm just gonna come in and add some of the wax on some spots. Doesn't have to be like a whole lot in a whole lot of places, okay? Just a little dab here or there. Gonna add a little extra element to it. If you want to, you could do gold, you could do maybe a I do have a purple, but since I already used kind of this pinkish purple color, that's why I was like, no, I'm not using the purple wax for this. But you can definitely use your colored waxes. And just get like some little touches here or there, you know, just to add another level of color, yet still, you know, this is all about the layers that we give things. You know, we layer our paper with different layers of paper and ink and such. Well, it's the same thing with colors, okay? You can do the exact same thing with layering with colors. So just keep in mind that you're doing that. Never thought of what, sweetie? Of layering your colors? Yeah. Layer your colors. Add different dimension to it that way. you know. So one of the things that like Miss Grace used real flowers for dimension, you could totally do that here as well. I know that there were Miss Lori, she used the diamond dots again for little dimension, gem dots, pearls. You can add all of that kind of stuff here as well. Okay, think about it that at the end of the day, this is all going to be what you put on top of your journal. The layering of colors, yeah, layer your colors, make it look pretty, you know. All right, I am going to get some little gems because I am going to put some little gems in the flowers because I don't have flowers that are small enough, but I do have gems. Something else that you can layer with is, you know, let's say if you're making something, you know, more, maybe this, I'm considering this somewhat soft because of the printable, okay? But if not, you know, I mean, this is where you would want to add, you know, like your metal embellishments, things of that nature that would add that other pop as well. So, you know, I have all kinds of like these little half pearls, which I've been having lots of fun adding to different things. And we are going to find where they would best be suited. Do I have yellow? I have green and red. Well, I have yellow, but that's not what I was talking about. I was like talking about a different yellow. Okay. Alright, well, I'm going to add little dots of glue to where I want to add my little gems. Yes, I love mixed media. It's my thing. That is what I love. I love mixing things together. Hey, handsome. Alright, so we're gonna put a yellow one there so that almost looks like a little daisy. I'll grab a pink one. I'll put it over here where the pink is. Trying not to get Miri's hair with my little gem. Well, that one didn't want to come with me. Hey there, Miss Kimberly. How are you? Welcome, welcome. So the event that I am in today is all about using this printable that you see here. And I am using it to make a journal cover. So this can be turned into, yes.
Are you cooking?
Yes, after I'm done. So just adding different little half gems in here. And that way we can give ourselves some different little dimension here. And then I keep on throwing these everywhere. But again, this is another level of dimension that I'm giving to it. Yep. And you can do this with any image. Like I said, if you're going steampunk, add your metal gears and other embellishments. If you're going, you know, a little more soft, you could totally add some lace into here, you know. It's really going to be what you are wanting to come out of this project. And again, these sit ready to go on top of an album. And that way you're not having to think of, you know, always, oh, well, what am I doing for the cover? You may already have a plate ready like this that could just be popped onto something. Trying to get it set up. You'll get it, puppy. If anybody can, you can. And I always add extra glue to my stickers, to the gems, to anything like that, because I don't know if stuff is really gonna stick, you know, and I don't want things coming apart. So I would rather add the extra glue. Hey, Miss Sheila! Yep, it came in. It came in. Super excited. So, Miss Sheila, we are doing a cover plate. These can be added onto a journal to embellish the covers. They can be whatever size you want it to be. There doesn't have to be a specific size. But I printed the printable that we were using today, that Miss MJ created. I printed it out as a 4x6, and this was 6x8. Yes, I'm super excited too. Does that mean you got it?
It's on Wi-Fi.
It's on Wi-Fi?
Yeah, it's on Wi-Fi.
I told you I knew you'd get it.
Heck yes.
I am excited. And of course, because we do have her eye right here, I am going to add the No! Oh, yes, you did actually. You did tell me that you were going in April. That's exciting. I'm very excited for you. What you doing this weekend? say, oh yeah, my glossy accent. Oh yeah. So if there's somebody who'll get it working, it's him. I'll put some glossy accent here for the eye. Alright, because eyes and wings and glasses always get glossy accents. And sometimes lips. It depends. So of course that has to dry. And make sure that I stayed. Alright.
Hopefully when you open it on the computer, it'll start up.
Alright. Hopefully, yes. Alright, let's see. We have a few little flowers here that we can add that are somewhat flat. And that's the biggest thing, is I try to find things that are going to be somewhat flat. Ooh, Gary gave me some new wire cutters, so I'll be using those. Oh, that's right. I remember you saying something about doing those. So up after me is the Glittzy Ya Ya, so make sure that you stay tuned. And she is closing us out, so definitely want to go see what she will be doing. She is our last presenter for today. Thank you so much, Miss MJ, for the opportunity to be in your event. I'm glad I was able to hop on and fill in, so we didn't have any gaps going on. Let's give her a little bit of a crown. Oh, yay, how exciting! That is exciting. You're very smart to be able to create your own website. You know, my brother used to do that. That was his thing there for a while. When he was 16, after he graduated high school, he got a degree doing that, and he was making some really decent money with it. Oops. My extent is what I do and what not, because trying to do a website, that's oh no, that's too much. That is too much. So what is everybody doing this Wednesday evening? Other than right now, y'all are hanging out with me. And then after that, you go see Miss Ya Ya. Other than that, what are we doing? You know, a girl's gotta ask what everybody's up to. Yep, it's not warm enough. Roasted potatoes, carrots, rice, and gravy. Ooh, yum. Sounds really good. Says Miss Sheila the silly goose. Hi, Miss Alicia. I'm doing well, thank you. I think we will be having sloppy joes for dinner. I think that is what we decided we were having for dinner. Crafting and dozing off at your table. That is funny. That is funny, Miss Sheila. Fish sticks and fries. And you're gonna go watch Survivor. Yeah, that's Miss MJ's show. She likes that show. You were watching that the other week too. What? What's it doing?
Activated the VIP membership. Trying to figure out how to do it.
Oh.
Making a noise anyway. What?
Kool-Aid? That's something.
Do what?
No.
Oh,
That.
somebody on.
Yeah, Miss Alicia's making Kool-Aid. I haven't had Kool-Aid in like forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Alicia says hi to you. He says hi back. He's over there working, trying to figure the laser out. You got it?
Yes, I'm done with the Wi-Fi.
Oh, cool.
You have to figure out how to lower it.
See, look at how cool that is. And like I said, if you wanted to, you could come in and you can still add little bits of lace. I got a glue string. To this as well. So, I don't know if I do have like actual little bit of lace, but I just remembered that I have these little lace flowers, and we could totally add those in here for another level of texture. And again, if you wanted to, you can ink these, because I mean, it's fiber, right? Let me see where it is.
I want to get 5 sheets this thing heated up.
Okay.
And let's turn it off. Same with the air assist, you gotta reach behind the machine for the side.
Okay. Maybe get one like what I have with the on-off button.
Yes. And try to get it up top that we can reach it easier.
Alright, well then, that's gonna have to be Amazon.
That's fine, I just let you know.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll see if I can get it from your computer.
Alrighty. Add these down here. And for these, I'll just use a little bit of the fabric, fuse. If you wanted to, you could put a little gem on top of this as well. Oh, thank you.
What are you doing, Minnie?
I'm so glad that you guys like it. That really does make me happy. That is too big to add, so we're not adding that. But I do want some more flowers, so I'm going to cut some more flowers out. And da-dum, 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 da-dum. Because I do want a third flower on here. Aw, thank you. Y'all are so kind. I appreciate that. I'm super excited to show you guys how to make the gate journal in July. And then see where you guys go with it, with your imagination. Because, you know, that's the best part of it, is to see what what you decide to do with it. So, but I think that that is actually looking very, very good. So, here we go. See, look at that. And again, this just gets glued onto a journal cover. And there I will have a nice finished cute cover, huh? You're collecting caps off a water bottle? What are you gonna do with them? Let me show you guys what I'm working on right now. This journal has proven to be, it's a creative thing of mine, and it's proven to be a pain in my rear end. Because sometimes taking what I have in my head and putting it into Flution sometimes takes a bit of tweaking and everything. But this is going to be the journal that I enter this year for the junk journal battle on Whatnot. And it is going to open up. The journal part is going to be in here. And up here I'm going to do like a little apothecary type thing. And this will stand. It'll close and it'll stand, so you can, you know, show it off if you wanted to. Like a little, because it's meant to look like a, you know, a grave thing. So that's what I'm doing. So this is it. And like I said, it's going to open up. Sometimes, like I said, my ideas, they sound amazing here, but then actually working them in can be a pain in the rear end. But hey, I'm not letting it defeat me. So I'm excited for that one. And if you guys are on Whatnot, the battle of the junk journal will be on the 17th. So if you guys can go and bookmark that, I would appreciate it. Now let's go see Yaya. She is up. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you guys like the idea of doing the journal plates to put on your covers, and that way you can you know, have something to give more oomph to your covers. Alright, and remember, layers. Guys, add all the beautiful things that we love to your artwork and just make it your own. I love you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Tomorrow, me and hubby are going to be off, going up to North Georgia to the mountains, so I'm excited. And I guess I will see everybody on the weekend.